hate science? We're gonna have some fun today. And you're like, right, we're gonna read a chapter, we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna answer some questions, but you're gonna watch some experiments, and then you're gonna try to do your own experiment. And if you think it's good enough, I want you to video it. I want you to video you doing the experiment, explaining how, what's going on, why you think it's happening, and post it on our Facebook. How fun would it be to be able to watch each other's experiments? That's something we couldn't do in the classroom anyway. So let's try it. Yeah. We're in science, page 107. And we are at 5.3, water, steam, and ice. Karen put some ice cubes into a glass. Before she could fill the glass with water, the telephone rang. Her favorite aunt was calling to wish her a happy birthday. They talked for some time, and then Karen returned to the kitchen where she found water instead of ice in her glass. That was a long phone conversation, huh? What happened to Karen's ice cubes? When she put them into her glass, the ice cubes were solid, but by the time she came back, they were liquid. The substance in her glass did not change. It was still water, but the water had changed the state of what it was in. What caused the water to change from a solid to a liquid? You'll remember that water is matter, and that all matter is made up of molecules. When the ice melted or changed from a solid to a liquid, something happened to those molecules. All right, so what we're going to find, I would like for you to highlight where it says change of state. Water is one of those fun things that's liquid. It can be a solid. It can also be a gas, such as steam. I don't know, right? All right, it says water has 3 states. Highlight that. And it says solid, liquid, and gas. Matter can exist in 3 states or forms. Matter can be a solid, a liquid, or a gas. Water is the only substance which exists naturally in all 3 states. Only water. Now, who you think made that? Yeah, buddy. You're right. God's got it under control here. So water is the only substance can do all 3. When water is solid, we call it ice. When water is liquid, we usually just call it water. Hot water vapor is often called steam. Now, whether water is ice, liquid water, water vapor, it is all still water. The substance of the water has not changed. Water is always made of the same kind of molecules. Oh, the dog's about to bark. So the water molecules are always made the same. 2 hydrogen atom to 1 oxygen. Remember our fat little bubble, and then it had 2 little bubbles on top of it? Okay. Only the state that the water is in has changed. We're gonna let the dog bark. My girls just came in from a run to Chick-fil-A, or the cow as we call it. And I am in the middle of science, so they're going to take their stuff. No, we're doing experiments. Woohoo, baby! I will. Anyway, so let me keep going. Y'all take that elsewhere with the dog. Go eat on the deck or something. It's nice outside.
It's 45 degrees.
Go. This is what I have, right? Do you argue? Do you argue with your parents? Yes. Don't even lie. Don't even act like you don't, Violet.
Why you ask?
Okay. So here we go. Thank you. All right. So we're back to water. It has the 3 states: solid, liquid, and gas. Now, whether water is either ice, liquid water, water vapor, it's still all water, and it has the 1 oxygen atom with the 2 hydrogen atoms. Only the state of the water is what has changed. So a solid, highlight that word solid. Well, I guess we ought to go ahead and put whether water is ice, liquid, water vapor, it's still all just water. So you'll see Ms. Taylor's book. That's what I'm doing. Got it? Good. My goodness, my girls are getting all caffeined up. Solid. Many kinds of matter are found naturally in solids. Thank you for buying this for me.
Yep.
Rocks are solid. What is water called when it's solid? Solids do not change shape easily. Okay, so I want you to highlight that. We know that. Solids do not change shape easily. This means that the molecules in the solids are packed so close together. Molecules in solids do not move quickly, but they can vibrate or move back and forth. It may surprise you to learn this, that when you look at a piece of ice, your desk, or some other solid, you do not see it vibrate. The molecules are so small and the vibration is so weak that you cannot feel or see the movement. So I have ice in my drink they just brought me. And I'm looking at my ice. What'd they get me? Tea? Why did they get me tea? Well, anyway, so I have ice. You see my little thing of ice? It's solid. Those little hydrogen and oxygen molecules are in there really, really tight. But if you can see in my hand what's happening to this ice cube, not only is it freezing my hand, but it's starting to melt. This is tea. Okay, did you get tea?
No.
Okay, all right.
Okay, she's got tea.
All right, just didn't know. All right.
Do you not like tea?
I just didn't know if I got someone's drink.
I grabbed the hash browns, but not the food.
All right, so a solid is what they would call dense or solid, meaning it's thick, right? A liquid, I want you to highlight that. A liquid has no shape of its own, meaning when you pour something liquid into a shape or into a cup or a glass, it's going to take the shape of the container, and that's what a liquid does. Okay, so when matter has no shape of its own, yet it takes up a certain amount of space, that matter is liquid. Vegetable oil, orange juice, milk. When you think of water, you probably picture it in a liquid state. Liquids change shape easily. You have probably noticed that a liquid takes the shape of the container that it's put in. That's what we just said. So if you want to go ahead and highlight that. Unlike ice, water changes its shape to fit the container. Liquids are not as dense, means not as thick as water, and the molecules of liquids will spread farther apart than the molecules of a solid. So molecules in liquids vibrate far more rapidly than they do in solids, meaning you can move them easier than you can the solid piece, right? Molecules of liquids vibrate and travel around within the liquid itself. All right, turn the page. Here we go. We're on page 109, and it's talking about the gases. And gases have no shape, and it does not fill a certain amount of space. Many gases are colorless. Air is a mixture of gases. Water in its gaseous form is found in the air. Do you remember what that's called? Water vapor, yes. So I want you to highlight where it says water vapor is invisible. You have probably seen clouds of very hot water vapor or steam above the boiling kettle. You did not actually see the water vapor. What you saw were extremely tiny drops of liquid water carried along in the steam itself. Gas has the lowest density of the three. Okay, so solid is the most solid, it's dense. Then liquid is, formable, but it has a density to it. But gas is the lowest density of the three states. So you'll need to highlight that. Molecules in gases are far apart and they are the fastest moving. They will whiz around and bump into each other all the time. All right, so this is what I highlighted so far. You with me? Okay. Amazing water. Because of the way molecules of water fit together, water is able to do some amazing things. The molecules in liquid water stick together far more readily than the molecules of any other liquid does. This quality is called surface tension, and that's what we're going to learn about in our on the video that I posted that talks about surface tension. Okay, at the bottom of this page it also gives you some ideas about surface tension, and then hopefully I'll see some of yours. All right. Because water has a high degree of surface tension, objects which are heavier than water will float on the surface unless the surface film of the water is broken. Water is able to dissolve many substances. When a solid substance is dissolved, its molecules become part of the liquid in which it's dissolved in. Water is able to dissolve large amounts of substances. God gave water this special ability so that water can carry the nutrients which plants, animals, and people need. He had the whole big picture and already planned. That's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, let me see your videos. I'm excited.